Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and welcome to my house. That's Justin's house. In this video, we're talking data loss prevention. That's right. In Tokyo, security operations gave us a new application called data loss prevention. I haven't touched it before. This is the first time. I'm probably going to make a couple of videos out of this, so stay tuned for more, but let's just get in and cover the basics. This is the new feature: identify, respond to, and protect your data loss channels with data loss prevention application. You can see that description right there. So customers, financial and proprietary data, health records, social security numbers. What do you do when this stuff goes missing or has a potential to go missing? That's what DLP, that's what data loss prevention is all about. So they're letting you automate the remediation workflows related to this. So if we look at the documentation site, we can see this is under security operations here on the left-hand side. And way down here on the left, we've got data loss prevention or data loss prevention incident response. And we can get in here and explore. We can look at the administration, the configuration, the use of it, and importantly, integrate with DLP applications that might be detecting data loss or potential data loss, right? So let's take a look at what this looks like for the workspace experience. We're going to start here, and then we're going to dive in future videos into some further detail, but this is the workspace. So you can see it's pretty basic. This is like version 1.0, maybe even a little beta-y for DLP, but I've got a list of open incidents by severity. Nice little donut chart there. Another one here on the right for top offenders based on open incidents. Notice this is listing the person's actual name, so we can see that George and Paul and James and Danny and Tony and Jennifer are all kind of making the top of that list there. They're getting lower as you go down below. Just below that, we got the open incidents by policy. I'm in one of my demo showcases, so this one has a PCI data policy and a PII data policy. So those are the incidents by that particular grouping. And then on the right behind my head, we've got the open incidents by scan source. So you can see some example integration points: live link, a generic scanner, the file system exchange crawler, some endpoints, and email endpoints. So that's just some basic demo data. The graphic behind my head isn't loading up. I just loaded my demo data, so I don't know if that would appear later over time because it's an aging graph. But there on the right, we've got the open incidents by state. So some are escalated, some are in review. Now, I won't leave you without actually opening a DLP incident so you can see what one looks like. So here are the critical incidents. I clicked on those, and then we see there the number for the data loss prevention incident, the policy name, the state, severity, typical incident management stuff that you'd see. What's not typical is some of the features that you're able to do here, including this assign incident. This is the first thing that jumped out at me, is you can assign the incident to me, Justin, or you can assign it to an analyst to look at something, or someone else. This one actually happens to be assigned to an end user because I was playing before I hit record and assigned it to the end user. So the button you're missing there is this end user. So that's something new in incident management, actually assigning something to an end user, but in data loss prevention, that actually makes sense. Maybe we want the end user to say, hey, was this legit? Did you mean to send out that Excel file to Fran over at, acme.com. Maybe it did. Maybe it was for business purposes. So we'll get into all that later. Notice I can also escalate here, update the state, or close it. Let's just go ahead and open up this particular data loss prevention incident so you can see the basic structure of one. So notice I've got some details, some of that stuff we were looking at in the list view there. But here I've got a file name. It looks like some appointment details in a Word document. I could have maybe from the file system retrieved things like the file owner, what permissions are set up there, what integration this came through, of course who's assigned to it, the file location, the file created, and the assignment group and escalation, all that. You got your typical notes over here on the right hand side. There is an additional details tab, and every time I've clicked on this in an incident, it doesn't do anything. So when this does something, I'll make another video or when I know how to use this better, but I wanted to make this so you can at least see that here's some custom attributes. None are actually associated with this one. And assessments. There actually is no assessment. I'm going to create one live on a video for you because this one actually comes with an assessment designer, which I actually thought was pretty cool. So I want to record that so you're able to see it. But notice here I've got just this basic information, additional comments, and work notes. Now, if I were to use this escalate button up here on the upper right hand side, I will get a pop-up asking me to who to escalate to, and then pick a state, and then the comments. The state's going to be escalated, obviously. So we've got some communication there around that workflow. If I was just to say, hey, I want to change the state of this particular data loss prevention incident, I can click there and change the state from in review theoretically to something else. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't have it assigned to anybody at the moment. So let's actually just assign this for fun. We'll assign it to myself. We'll set it as still in review. Assign. I'm not going to do any assessments right now. In fact, I don't have any assessments in my system at the moment because I want to create that. Now let's see if we update the state. Yeah, so I can move this from in review now to open or responded. So it looked like when I was looking at that, there were 3 basic states. I'll show you those here in a second. Last one here on the right is this create. You know, I didn't show you that with my little green arrow. Last one is this create child incident. So I can use this one to make a child incident. So do you want to create a child incident? I could click yes and hit submit. And I assume that's going to go ahead and create that incident. So that's the basic structure of a DLP incident. This is the data loss prevention workspace. You can see right there the different charts and graphs. And before we end the video, let's just take a look at the DLP menu. If this is a new application for you, notice I've got some default configuration, some assignment rules, response due dates, assessments, which we'll cover in a future video, incident response, some chart configuration, delegate configuration, and there's the custom states that I wanted to click on so we could see if there's more than in review, and there is. Looks like in review, overdue, responded, reported, closed. So I bet if I had moved this to responded, then maybe I could have moved it to closed. I don't know where to go look at all that information, but we'll find out. And when I do, of course, I'll let you know. Some advanced settings here, record level restrictions and field level restrictions. So you think about data loss prevention, sometimes there's sensitive data. So it looks like we've got some abilities here to control the security. And then the main stuff that I'll be covering in my videos here is that DLP incident menu. There is an end user portal. I'll cover that in a future one. We were just looking at the ops portal and the dashboard right now is blank. Again, I just loaded my demo data and it's an aging time-based dashboard. So I have a feeling we're going to need some days to go by for that to actually populate with something. And again, I'll record that when it comes to it. So that's my intro to data loss prevention incident management within the security operations application in ServiceNow. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested in integrating their DLP tools into ServiceNow and taking advantage of the workflows and state management and keeping track of everything in one single platform. Until next time, don't forget to always be learning.